Sup guys, Speo here with the voice of reason, and today, as requested, we'll take a look at the Bleepy kind of dubstep synth. Okay, let's just take a quick listen to the synth in context. Okay, just a little example. This synth is quite popular in dubstep and I quite like it, so let's get to recreating it. Chuck in a thought, turn on the portamento with a value of about 20, set it to mono rate trigger and bring up the sustain on the amp envelope all the way. Now we want two wavetable oscillators, so chuck those in and don't forget to activate them in this section here. And we'll bring up the first one to octave 6 and the second one will bring down to octave 3. So the first one is just there for the high bleepy sound and the second one delivers the lower frequencies and the punch. They are both set to basic analog wavetables, which is fine, but we'll bring up the position on the first one to 85 and on the second one to 90. You can hold down shift to be more accurate. In the filter, we'll bring down the envelope and velocity amount all the way, and we'll bring up the frequency all the way, and we'll bring up the resonance to about 24. Not much of a bleep, but we'll change that using the mod envelope, so bring down the release all the way and we'll bring down the decay to 180 milliseconds. Sorry. Now in the modulation matrix, we'll select the mod envelope and just route it with an amount of -100 to oscillator 1 pitch. Select it once again and once again with an amount of -100 to oscillator 2 pitch. And then once again with an amount of -100 to filter 1 frequency. And there we have our bleepy kind of sound. Now to make it a little dirtier, we'll run it through a Scream 4 distortion unit. But first we'll need to change the mixer settings here. We'll change the balance to 60. So we get a slightly higher amplitude from the first oscillator, which means that this one will be distorted more in the Scream 4. Which is very important because if the lower one was to be distorted more, then we'll just have a muddier sound and we don't want that. So just a slight change in the balance from 64 to 60 changes how the distortion sounds. So bring the mixer balance to 60 and set the distortion to warp mode. Warp is a great distortion mode too. So we'll bring up both parameters to 127 and we'll bring down the damage control to 32. Sweet. Now we'll move on to creating an equalizer. As you've probably heard, we lost some lows in the distortion process, so we'll just get some lows back into the sound with the low shelf. So bring that one down to about 43 Hertz. And we'll bring up the Q all the way to 2.0. And we'll bring up the gain to 10 dB, about 10 dB. Bringing up the Q all the way creates this little hole here, which is nice too, so yeah. And then we'll just get some more highs using the high shelf, but just slightly, just with about 3 dB. Sweet. Now we'll move on to creating a compressor. Just basic compressor stuff, 10:1 ratio, and we'll bring down the threshold a bit. But we can also give it some attack, some 88 milliseconds to give it some punch. We can even get the threshold to -17 dB or something. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, and then you can always just create a reverb unit and set it to room mode. Bring down the decay to about 48-ish. Bring up the damp to 64 and bring down the dry wet to about 24. Just makes the sound a bit bigger and adds some stereo and field stuff. Okay, that's it for the rack. Now if we just take a look at the sequencer, we'll automate the pitch bend wheel, so just get the range up to 12, so we've got a clean octave of pitch bending, and alt-click the pitch bend wheel, and also we'll automate the decay on the mod envelope, so alt-click that one too. Now let's just take a quick look at the sequencer data I've prepared. So basically we got just notes, so those are all notes. because every time a note is hit, the mod envelope triggers the kind of pitch effect, the kind of bleep effect, so it's just all single notes on the same note. And we've got the pitch bend just going down here. And then here in this section, I automated the decay, so it's just slightly faster, and we get more sound. So the decay, the pitch effect is faster. So we have this stutter effect here. But you can still make out which notes those are. If I deleted this automation here, you would only hear the very start of the automation of the pitch effect. So we don't want that. We'll bring down the decay just a tad with this automation here, and we get more of the sound in for the stutter effect with the short notes. Okay, there you go. That's your bleepy kind of dubstep synth. I hope this tutorial was useful. If it was, drop a like. That would be much appreciated. Also, if you're interested in more of these tutorials, please subscribe if you haven't already, because there are lots more to come. Thank you for watching. My name's been Speo. This was The Voice of Reason. Have a good one of whatever you're having.